Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers, which was quite a bit ago. We're closer to the 1800s now. And I wanted to make something special for you guys. So today we have a full sewing tutorial with a free pattern for this beautiful pleated skirt here. The pattern comes in 11 different sizes, from sizes 32 to 52. To get your pattern, you just need to go to my website, coralinesreed.com. The link will be in the description. And after that, you just need to choose which sheet size you want, whether it's A4 or US letter. Print it and glue the sheets together. To assemble the pieces, you don't need to cut any borders, you just have to glue them at the sides. And at the bottom of each sheet, you can find two numbers separated by a comma. So glue the sheets following this diagram right here, and then cut the pattern pieces. So for the materials, you need fabric of your choice. It can be made out of synthetic or natural fibers, but you have to make sure of two things. First, it needs to keep the shape after you iron it for the pleats. And two, it cannot be super thin and flowy like a lightweight crepe or chiffon, because the skirt needs a bit of structure. So you can use jeans, flannels, a thicker cotton fabric. Pattern fabrics or solid colors is up to you, and the amount of fabric that you need will depend on the size that you choose to make, so you can check that in the link in the description. You will also need one invisible zipper that's at least 20 centimeters long, matching thread, and your regular sewing machine. The overlocker is totally optional for this project. So now let's start. So after washing your fabric, don't skip this step. You can iron it and then place the pattern pieces on top. You will need to cut the pattern for the pleats 2 times. And the waistband 4 times. So for the waistband, you can have 2 options, cutting it on the bias or not. A lot of plaid pleated skirts that you can find in stores have that little detail of having the waistband a little bit inclined. You can totally do that if you want. That's the style that I chose to make for myself. But if you want to cut it on the bias, you have to take some extra steps to make sure everything will work out. Whenever you cut fabric on the bias, the cut will automatically give it more stretch. Ideally, you should add fusible interfacing to the waistband pieces before cutting them, but I don't have it here right now, and you can make do without it. Just know that it will be wider than normal and you might need to size down. Now let's cut it. Measure the distance of the grain line from the folded edge. And after cutting, don't pull the pattern piece like this, because otherwise it will stretch in the form. Just fold it really neatly and take it to your sewing machine. Now we'll sew a stitch at the top and at the bottom of all 4 waistband pieces. Sew it closer to the edge, like a foot distance from the edge. This is called a stay stitch, and it is made to prevent it from stretching. This type of stitch is sometimes done on armholes and necklines for the same purpose, to prevent the fabric from deforming. And if you chose to make the waistline following the same grain line of the fabric, then you can totally skip this step. Now we need to transfer the marks of the pleats to the fabric. You can use chalk, an erasable pen, or make small cuts there. And now it's time to decide the types of pleat that you want. The pattern is the same, the only thing that would change is the folding method. For knife pleats, you need to choose a side and fold all of your pleats following the same direction. And for box pleats, they will meet at the middle. So a small recap one more time. For knife pleats, choose a side and fold them like this. And you have to keep doing this up until the end. Now for box pleats, you have to fold them just like we did for the Barbie tutorial. So you're supposed to fold the dotted line to this line right here. So the way you want your pleats is up to you. If you want 4 box pleats like this, or if you want 8 smaller knife pleats like this. I'm choosing to make mine as knife pleats because I already have the box pleated version for the Barbie dress, but that's totally up to you. And now you need to iron them really well so the fabric can hold the shape. If you want, you can sew some stitches right here at the fold to keep the pleats in place, or you can just run a stitch right at the top. And take one waistband piece and place them right sides together with the top of the pleats, and sew here 1 centimeter away from the edge. And now you can also stitch the seam allowance towards the waistband. Now do the same to the back skirt. Iron the teeth of the zipper open like this. And finish the sides of your skirt with an overlocker or a zigzag stitch. I'll release a video showing you how to attach the perfect zipper from start to finish next week, so don't forget to subscribe and turn the notifications on so you don't miss it. Mark the seam allowance on top, which is 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. And with the zipper facing down and the teeth facing towards the side, you pin it so this plastic part right here that stops the zipper is right behind the seam allowance. And now you have to sew it right here. Adjust your needle, check if it's going well, and now you can stitch. Now you need to do the same thing to the other side. Now place them right sides together and close the sides. And now sew the other side here, 1 centimeter away from the edge. Now place the waistbands right sides together and sew it at this side. The bottom is finished with an overlocker, but you can also use zigzag stitch, or you can even use bias binding at the bottom. If you choose to use bias binding, then it will look really professional from the inside. And now you just place them right sides together at the top. And now you sew it at the sides of the zipper and all around the top. Now you can pull the seam allowance towards the waistband that's going to be inside. So pull it upwards like this, and you can stitch 1 foot away from the edge. Now from the inside, pin the waistband down in place. Now you need to stitch right in the middle of the seam. That is called stitch in the ditch. That way we will secure the waistband down, and this unfinished seam that is right here is not going to unravel. And now all there's left to do is hem the bottom and your skirt is ready. Let's go now to the try-on portion of the video. So what did you guys think of today's video? I really hope you liked it. And if you have any recommendations for me, if there's something that you would like to see here on this channel, let me know in the comments. And if you make this skirt, don't forget to tag me on Instagram because I would love to see it. Bye!